A very good morning. EURUSD pushed up higher yesterday, but is still stuck within this overall range, which has been inside of since around the 7th of August. Now, the market structure for euro dollar on the daily time frame still remains bullish, with this here being your breaker structure, this being the swing low, and this being the swing high. Now, the overall market retraced into the zero point 0.5 fib level after it pushed up higher once again, forming somewhat of an order flow until that order flow translated or developed itself into an area of consolidation, as we have now at this point in time. Now, yesterday I highlighted that we have this descending trend line here, with the third trend line touch providing us with this bearish candlestick, where a lot of stops are probably resting above the high. Therefore, I would not be surprised if EURUSD would be ready for another drive in towards the highs to take out that high before then eventually, for example, looking for an overall sell-off. So looking for some short-term buys potentially on euro dollar, despite it obviously just being extremely consolidative. Myself, I would only be looking for a buy on EURUSD if we take out these two lows over here. This demand zone itself is not strong enough to cause an overall push up, as it's built on ascending lows. So therefore, there is liquidity underneath these lows. I would like to see that liquidity get taken out before looking for any form of a long position. For shorts, not really in the market at the moment. Not really liking what I'm seeing. I would really need to see another drive in towards the highs, but I'll be monitoring overall what happens for the rest of today. Do we see that overall drop off? Then I'll be looking to see if we can capture a potential long. That would be in line with the overall market structure in the sense that it's ranging. So if we look here at this area of consolidation, then an overall long would be from around that 0.25% mark back in towards the upside. So that would also, from a range trading perspective, make a lot of sense. So that is EURUSD. Personally, not very interesting. As you can see, guys, it's just an August market. I can come here every single day and try and be interesting and say, oh, now we're going to hit 1.20, blah, 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 blah. But since the 7th of August, we've been ranging. So better just to sit on your hands unless we can't get that long liquidity setup, which I was talking about. And for shorts, we would need to push all the way back up in towards the highs before looking for any potential downside. So that's euro. Going into the dollar index, pretty similar. Not really too much has been going on. Still consolidating. What can I say? Just waiting for a breakout. And once the breakout happens, then we're going to be seeing a big move. So overall, I don't really care if it happens down or if it happens up. I'm just waiting for that move to happen. For now, we're obviously in the lower bound of the overall range here. So then from there, you pretty much want to be focusing on some longs. We've already seen this low swipe. We've already seen a high swipe. We've seen a high swipe again. Maybe we'll see another low swipe. Let's see. Overall, if you want to use the range trading tool, guys, just look for the high of the range and the low of the range. And then what you do is you go into the fib settings. I use the Fibonacci retracement tool, and then I just mark out the 0.75 and the 0.25. And when the market approximately hits 0.25, you can pretty much just expect a bounce. So for now, this demand zone over here is keeping price up together with that 25% level. So who knows, we could see another drive in towards the upside for now, as this is a strong area of support within the overall range. So I'm not going to focus too much on market structure, supply and demand, liquidity. We're just going to keep it very simple. Market is consolidating. We're in the lower bound of the range, so there is potential for it to push up higher once again. Going into GBPUSD, that one next. So GU did what we highlighted yesterday as well, in the sense that it came up higher for that third trendline touch. So what we can see here is obviously the initial reaction in towards the downside came. A lot of people started to go short. However, again, a lot of people going short on that bearish candlestick over here with the stop loss above the highs. And then they all got stopped out, and then a real drop in towards the downside occurred. Now, for GBPUSD in itself, I am favoring a move in towards the downside in the near future. However, it is not really just ready yet. I'm looking here at the 4 hour, and to be honest, what I'm looking at pretty much is for us just to maybe see another drive in towards the highs and then take out some highs before looking for another short in towards the downside. It could sell off from these levels, but it's just not really a high conviction play that I have here for GBPUSD to sell it. So I'll just be focusing only on those higher shorts. Overall, 4 hour time frame, daily time frame. So the daily time frame is still bearish. We still have this here as my swing high, this here as my swing low. So we're looking for that overall short position, and from a daily swing perspective, that makes sense. Now looking at the 4 hour, I mean, the 4 hour is also swing bearish, guys, from this overall high all the way up here in towards this low. So we are looking for further downside to occur, but the overall price action that we're just seeing is kind of like, again, stuck within this overall box, right? So I'm just waiting for a new move to happen, and that really needs to also come from the dollar index before I can really kind of like start to see very good opportunities on these dollar pairs, because for me, even GU is slightly unclear at the moment, as not really any direction is being chosen. Now going into AUDUSD and NZDUSD. So for AUDUSD, it's a little bit more clear. I am looking for a short position on this pair. At the moment, what I can see is that the overall price action that we have is still very interesting for a potential short. So overall, what I'm looking for here is mainly focused on what I see on the 4 hour time frame, where I have a strong area of supply over here. Now this is a strong area of supply due to the fact that this buy up for the sell down took out this previous liquidity high, and it also reacted to a strong supply zone here to the left. So I'm looking for this supply zone to potentially push the market down lower. We've taken out this liquidity high, which was positioned right below the area of supply itself. So now what I'm simply waiting for is for that 4 hour change of character to take place, to then potentially see somewhat of a bigger drop off in towards the downside. So that's what I'm monitoring on AUDUSD. For NZDUSD, we're at the monthly open level, which is a natural area of support and resistance. So let's keep an eye on that. Maybe that could sell off together with AUDUSD. However, I find AUDUSD a little bit more attractive and a little bit more clean. Though I must say NZDUSD is still fractal bearish on the daily time frame. And we're currently reacting to this supply zone over here. So this supply zone, these wicks, together with the monthly open, could potentially push the market down lower if we start to see that 4 hour change of character down. If not, just expect another drive up, and then obviously we'll target this overall high over here before looking for any sell opportunities. Going now into USD Swiss, USD Yen, USD CAD, and of course gold. USD Swiss again is trickling down lower, but not too much going on, if I'm very honest. Again, another very consolidative day yesterday without a real direction chosen. It still makes sense for USD Swiss to head down lower from a order flow perspective and from a market structure perspective. So market structure is still bearish from this high in towards this low over here. We reacted to the overall buy before the sell here as an area of supply. And as you can see now, since the beginning of August, consolidation. So yeah, these dollar markets or dollar pairs have just been consolidating all throughout August, but trickling down lower and lower. So we'll just keep an eye if we can head down lower indeed. Then USD CAD, that is one of the more cleaner ones that sold off pretty strong. Some people were asking, Fabio, can we take a long on this? As I mentioned, I'm looking for this blue line, and then maybe after that we could take a long position again. So waiting for that low to get hit. If we do not react to that low, then wait for this lower low over here to get hit. So that's kind of like what I'm keeping an eye on at the moment. Just purely a liquidity play to potentially long USD CAD back up higher in towards what would then be the monthly open over here, and this as an area of supply. So looking then for a trade up of around 100 pips on USD CAD. Then USD Yen, what can we see over there? USD Yen, extremely consolidative still. Still looking for this to head down in towards the blue dotted line over here, which is the low of the range, and is a similar kind of piece of price action that we had here at the top, where we also took out this range high, and now I'm just looking for us to take out the range low with another drive in towards the downside. So yeah, I'll be monitoring if we get a nicer pullback. For now, we've been just engineering a lot of liquidity above these descending highs. So if those descending highs get taken out, and then more specifically kind of like this beginning descending high, then I would be happy at looking at a potential shorting opportunity back in towards the downside. Then last of all, gold. Gold came in towards the overall swing high, which I highlighted in yesterday's video. So from here, I am looking for a potential short opportunity. So yeah, what I'm simply doing here on gold is just trading the overall liquidity highs and lows. So for now here on gold, what I can see is that we have this here. This here as a liquidity high, swing high. So I'm now just looking for us to take out that swing high and trade this down lower. So let's see if we can get a 4 hour interesting piece of price action, because for now obviously the market has just been kind of like squeezing in towards those highs without a lot of momentum. So I'm really looking now for us to get that drop off. You can see kind of like the stronger push up. This is kind of like the real, let's say, short squeeze in towards the highs, taking out all of those stops. So now I want to see the overall short play out. The only thing is that the 4 hour fractal low is pretty far away. If I wait for that to get kind of like broken, then the overall short position will be a lot smaller. So I'm looking here at the 1 hour fractal high, or fractal low, excuse me. And then once that breaks, potentially we can get in on the overall double fractal break in towards the downside. Okay, with a tighter stop loss, something like this. So that's it for today. I'm mainly looking at gold shorts, and yeah, that is actually my main trade, together with potentially very soon a USDCAD long and maybe another USD yen short. So that's it, and thank you for watching. Wish you all a fantastic trading day, and I'll see you inside Discord, where I'll be announcing another event today. Thanks, guys.